What if you're not lonely, but finally listening? In today's world, there is always noise, messages, people, endless distractions. You are constantly connected, constantly responding, and because of that, you are rarely present. Even when you are alone, your mind is still busy, still searching for something outside. So, silence begins to feel uncomfortable, like something is missing. But what if nothing is missing? What if solitude is not emptiness, but space? Space to breathe, space to think, space to finally hear yourself. Today you'll discover how choosing stillness, especially at home, can bring a deep sense of peace, clarity, and quiet strength. Look at how your day usually begins. Before you are fully awake, you check your phone. Messages, notifications, updates, and from that moment, your attention is pulled outward. Throughout the day, it continues. You respond to people, you scroll through information, you listen, react, and think constantly. There is very little space. Even when you are resting, your mind is still active, still processing, still reacting. This creates a habit of always seeking something outside. Attention, validation, stimulation. You want to stay connected. You want to stay informed. You don't want to miss anything. But this constant input comes at a cost. Your mind becomes tired, not because you are doing too much physically, but because your attention is always being used. You are always giving energy away, and over time, this creates mental fatigue. You feel overwhelmed, easily distracted, emotionally exhausted. Even small things begin to feel heavy. And it may seem like the problem is people. Too many conversations, too many interactions. But the deeper truth is this. It is not people that drain you. It is the constant noise, the endless flow of input that never stops. Your mind was not designed to process everything all the time. It needs quiet. It needs space to reset. The Buddha taught that a restless mind cannot find peace, and constant noise keeps the mind restless. So, the solution is not to escape life, but to create moments of stillness within it. And this leads to a simple but powerful insight. Your mind does not need more input. It needs quiet, so it can recover, settle, and become clear again. Many people are afraid of being alone. The moment there is no one around, a feeling appears. Loneliness. It feels like something is missing. So, the mind reacts. It reaches for the phone. It looks for someone to talk to. It tries to fill the space. Because we have learned to believe. Being alone means something is wrong. But this is a misunderstanding. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is when you feel empty, when you feel disconnected, when you believe you need something outside to feel complete. But solitude is different. Solitude is chosen. It is intentional. It is not about lacking something. It is about giving yourself space. Instead of saying, "I'm alone," you begin to say, "I'm with myself," and this changes everything. The same quiet moment no longer feels empty. It feels calm. There is no pressure to perform, no need to respond, no need to be anything for anyone. You can simply be. At first, this may feel uncomfortable because you are not used to it. The mind is used to noise, used to distraction. But if you stay with the silence, something shifts. The discomfort softens. The mind slows down. The body relaxes. And what once felt like emptiness begins to feel like peace. You start to enjoy your own presence, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer searching outside yourself. The Buddha taught that peace comes from within, not from constant connection, not from external validation. And solitude allows you to experience that directly. It gives your mind a chance to rest, to reset, to return to a natural state of calm. And this leads to a simple but powerful insight. Solitude is not something to fear. It is something to value, because in that quiet space, your energy returns, and your mind becomes clear again. When you first enter silence, something unexpected happens. The mind becomes louder. Thoughts appear more clearly. Memories come up. Worries begin to surface. It can feel uncomfortable, almost as if silence is creating the problem. But the truth is different. The thoughts were already there. You just couldn't hear them before. Because there was always noise, distraction, activity, stimulation. Silence does not create these thoughts. It reveals them. And this is why many people avoid stillness. Because when everything becomes quiet, they are left with themselves, with their thoughts, their emotions, their inner state. And that can feel unfamiliar. So, the habit is to escape. Reach for the phone, turn on something, fill the space again. But if you stay, if you don't escape, something begins to change. Instead of reacting to the thoughts, you observe them. This is a worry. This is a memory. This is a feeling. You don't follow them. You don't try to fix them. You simply notice. At first, the mind may still feel active, but slowly, the intensity fades. The thoughts lose their grip. Because you are no longer feeding them, you are just watching. This is the practice. To sit in silence, to observe, and not to run away. The Buddha taught that awareness is the path to understanding, and silence creates the space for that awareness. Because when you stop distracting yourself, you begin to see clearly. You begin to understand your patterns, your habits, your reactions. And from that understanding, change becomes possible. This leads to a simple but powerful insight. Clarity does not come from avoiding yourself. It begins the moment you are willing to sit quietly and face what is already inside. When the mind feels busy or overwhelmed, you don't need something complicated. You need something simple, the breath. In Buddhist practice, the breath is one of the most powerful tools. Because it is always with you. You don't have to create it. You don't have to search for it. You only need to notice it. Begin with something very simple. Sit quietly. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel the air coming in. Feel the air going out. Inhale. Exhale. No need to change it. No need to control it. Just observe. At first, your mind may still wander. Thoughts will come. This is normal. When you notice it, gently return to the breath. Again and again. Each time you return, you are training your attention. You are bringing it back to the present moment. And slowly, something begins to change. The thoughts become softer. The mind becomes less busy. The body begins to relax. Because your attention is no longer everywhere, it is resting in one place. The breath becomes an anchor. When the mind drifts into the past, the breath brings you back. When the mind moves into the future, the breath brings you back. Always back to now. The Buddha taught that the present moment is the only place where peace exists, and the breath is your way back to it. Over time, this simple practice creates a grounded, calm mind. Not because you forced it, but because you gave it a place to rest. And this leads to a simple but powerful insight. You don't need to chase calm. You only need to return to your breath and let it guide you back to the present moment. Most people see their home as a place to relax, a place to rest after a busy day. But it can be something more. It can be a place of practice, a place where you return to yourself instead of using your home to escape. You begin to use it to become present. This starts with small changes. Reduce unnecessary noise. Turn off what you don't need. Allow moments of silence. Limit how often you reach for your phone. Not every moment needs to be filled. Create small spaces in your day where nothing is happening. Just sitting, just breathing, just being. At first, this may feel unfamiliar because you are used to constant stimulation. But slowly, something changes. Your home begins to feel different, calmer, quieter, more supportive, and your mind begins to reflect that. Because your environment affects your inner state. When your space is full of noise, your mind becomes noisy. When your space is calm, your mind becomes calm. This is not about making everything perfect. It is about intention, about how you use your space. Instead of distraction, you choose presence. Instead of constant input, you allow stillness. Over time, this creates a new habit. You begin to enjoy quiet moments. You begin to feel comfortable with yourself. And this brings clarity because your mind is no longer overwhelmed. The Buddha taught that peace does not come from outside. It grows from within, but it needs the right conditions. And your home can become that condition, a place where stillness is allowed, a place where your mind can rest. And this leads to a simple but powerful insight. Peace grows where you allow stillness, and your home can become the place where that begins. Take a quiet moment to reflect. You don't always need more connection, more messages, more noise, more attention from the outside. Sometimes what you truly need is to come back to yourself, to sit quietly, to breathe, to simply be. Being with yourself is not a lack. It is enough. In that stillness, something important happens. Your mind slows down. Your thoughts become clearer. Your inner voice becomes easier to hear. Because clarity does not come from more input. It comes when the mind becomes quiet. So gently ask yourself, when was the last time you truly sat with yourself? If this message resonated with you, consider subscribing for more teachings on calm, clarity, and mindful living.